So these entertainment streets have been very interesting as of late. Women has been dominating all over the place. There has been a handful of women. One is Cooking with Kaya, and I think she has brought femininity back to women in the sense of them showing that they can actually cook and enjoy themselves while doing it. Some women are picking up on the trend and copying her. Other people are mocking her, but she's not the topic of this particular conversation. I'm going to do a separate video on her. But that's just one woman, an example, who made it to the bag in a legit way, not selling her body in any way, shape, or form like that. However, though, the two women in the conversation we're going to be talking about today is Lily Phillips and Dejanay Davis. Now, both of them are attractive women. Now, when you first come across Lily Phillips, you wouldn't have thought that she would be the woman that was trying to have relations with 101 men in 24 hours. And she successfully did so. Excuse me. It was 100 men in 24 hours. And she broke her goal by one man. Now, it turns out she's now trying to go for a record of 1,000 men who was previously held by somebody else. But we'll get into that in a moment. When you first come across Lily Phillips, this is her first TikTok that I found of her. It was just her of doing some lip syncing and stuff like that. This basically TikTok girl stuff, having over 100,000 subscribers and getting a little bit of money for that because all her videos had well over 1 million views. So clearly she was getting paid. However, that wasn't enough for her, so she chose to go into a realm of adult entertainment and going into OF and then doing the whole entire viral thing of her sleeping with 100 men in one day. Now, personal choices aside, I do think that is a pretty disgusting act to do, in my personal opinion. I don't understand why somebody would choose to do that when she had the looks and the personality to make money in other ways. But that's not my choice. That's not my life, whatever. But my main question is, it's not even a question. My main statement about this is that she's setting an example for younger girls to, instead of using her degree, which she did graduate from university, so she does have a degree. She has wealthy parents, apparently. And, you know, people assume when you have wealthy parents, you think you're going to be doing well in life and they give you every single opportunity. But a lot of dark things happen when it comes to wealthy families and the quote-unquote opportunities to give to their kids. So let's go into the whole entire viral thing that went on right now with her having a breakdown.
I think sometimes like feeling so like robotic, like by the 30th, you know, like when we're getting on a bit, I've got like a routine of like how we're going to do this. And like, it just, sometimes you'd like disassociate and be like, you know, like it's not like normal things at all. In my head right now, I can think of like 5, 6 guys, 10 guys that I remember. And that's it.
Now, I remember everybody was saying that she was having regret whenever she was talking about this and she cried. But whenever I was listening to the whole entire situation, she had more regret, not necessarily of the actions that she did, but how she wasn't able to satisfy the man who waited there for a long time to have a turn with her.
But it's just, I don't know, it's just weird, isn't it? Like, if I didn't have the videos, I wouldn't have known I've done 100, you know? But yeah. I think that was kind of the hard part, is like conversing with them and like when they'd kind of be like, oh, like we've only had 2 minutes or 3 minutes and you said 5 on the message.
Did someone say that to you?
Yeah. And obviously it just makes me feel so bad.
Do you think you should feel bad about that?
I guess when you've promised something to people who support you, it's kind of hard to let them down.
But it's up to you, right? Like when you know.
Yeah.
Have you even processed, do you think, what's happened?
Not yet. God, I won't forget this day, Jesus.
When I decided to start making this documentary, I wasn't too sure of what to expect. I certainly didn't expect to see Lily so upset at the end of it all.
I think sometimes...
But when she was upset, again, it was because of how she wasn't able to make the men feel more welcome. So she still has that sense of she wants to have a connection to the person she's being with, not necessarily just using them as a number. And I think she's struggling with that internally because I think a part of her feels like that's wrong what she's doing. And again, when you grow up in a wealthy family, supposing that's what they're saying online, And you have this image that you had of yourself, and you're pretty much destroying that image. Nobody's really going to look at her as that attractive, unattainable, quote unquote, TikTok, Instagram girl that, wore bikinis and nice outfits and did lip syncs and all this other kind of stuff. They're just going to see her as a person now that's just, pay for play and not even pay for the most part. Now, here's the other interesting thing about that supposedly they said that she has gained over $2 million from this because she has like an extra $36,000 subscribers to her OF, which has garnered her so far about $2 million. I would think it would be more. And truthfully, if my thinking is that if you're a woman and you did something like that, you would break it up as to many clips and behind the scenes and stuff like that as possible to maximize the profit so you won't have to ever do anything like that again. But that isn't the case in her situation. It turns out for her, it's just, it made her want to do a larger goal of 1,000 to break a world record. Now, I didn't know there was a world record for having relations with men in one day, right? I had no idea. So I looked into it. So then there was a woman named Lisa Sparks that broke the record in 2004. And again, I didn't know there was a record for this. And apparently it used to be an annual thing. But I kind of wish that these OG SA workers, these OGS workers would sit here and talk to the young girls about what they're getting into and what they could potentially regret about the situation. So I want to take myself off of here and so we can see this full thing. I wasn't able to find too many interviews about her, Miss Sparks, because I was thinking, you know what, if she broke a world record, she's got to be talking about it and all this other kind of stuff. Not the thing. The only thing I saw about this is an article from like 10 years ago. And it says, to be completely transparent with you, this event is the one thing I regret doing my 21 plus years in the P industry to this day. This was the only job I agreed to perform strictly for money. Don't get me wrong, I love GB, and I've done most of them with all my fans. However, this event was never anything I planned on, and the entire event was completely a SHIT show. So when we go back to Lily, and you're thinking, okay, you're already having a conflicting thing with inside your body, right? Well, when I mean inside your body, not necessarily your physical body, but inside your body in the sense of your spirit. How you still want to connect with men when you're having relationships with them, compared to the part of it's just business. You need to get them moving on because you don't want them to feel bad or their time wasted, or it shows you still have a good aspect of yourself. You don't want them to feel used, and you don't want necessarily to feel used. That's what I'm gathering from that situation. Does that lead to regret? It doesn't seem so. It just seems that you're making a choice of what person you're going to be and realizing you can't go back to that old person you was before.
So you might know me as the girl who's been with 101 guys in a day.
After the situation, right? Because she has another TikTok. She has a couple of them. And this one she's kind of discussing of how she wants to continue forward and trying to recruit more men to go ahead and be a part of her venture. And also her announcing that today on December 15th, that she's going to go ahead and try to train, quote unquote, and asking for 300 men.
Now, I'm currently in training to do 1,000 guys in a day, and on the 15th December, I shall be taking on 300 guys in a day, which is the most amount of guys I've ever done. And so it's going to be hard, but in comparison to the 1,000, this should be light work. If you want to be involved in breaking a world record and you're in Vegas end of January, please head on over to my Twitter because I'm going to try and take on 1,000 guys all in 24 hours, and I really want you to be a part of this. I'm trying to be the first person to be with 1,000 guys in 24 hours. Now, this isn't an easy task, finding 1,000 people. So, women, if you can lend me your husbands for the day, that would be amazing. Women.
Now, to me, I thought that was kind of wild, asking women to lend their husbands. But then I got to remember, people do have different kinks and stuff like that. So, I mean, depending on the situation, their wives could be into it.
Please, can you lend me your husband's, son's, boyfriend's, nieces, nephews? Because I am trying to break the world record.
I don't know why she said nieces.
For the amount of guys a girl has been with in 24 hours. I spent 14 consecutive hours getting ran through, and now I'm going to be doing 24 because I'm going to be going for the world record early February next year. I'm going to go for 1,000.
Now, when I read a lot of the comments, there were plenty of men in there that wanted to be next. They said, I want to request, I applied, I went to your Twitter, etc., etc. No response, whatever. I don't know what the criteria are, but clearly she shouldn't have any problems finding the people that are want to do that. It just really, the question is it the people that you would really want to do it? Now, I did also notice some comments that people are blaming her relationship with some woman named Bonnie Blue. I'm not familiar too with her. They actually look kind of similar. Like if you see them side by side, they kind of look like they would be sisters, because I should have posted a picture of them in there. And when I went to her video, she is pretty out there too. And I didn't know that British were wild like that. Let's be real here. When you come to Britain, they always try to seem that they're more, posh and everything. But in this situation, it's downright raunchy. Go figure.